Hello, everybody, and welcome to the top 5 new comics for September 11th of 2024. I am, as always, Chris. We got a really cool slate of books, as always, so let's hop right in, starting with Avengers Assemble #1. This is written by Steve Orlando with art by Corey Smith. So, normally I'm not a big Steve Orlando guy. I've tried a lot of his stuff for the years, and just as we've talked about many times in the past, some writers, some artists just don't click with certain people. Steve Orlando is one of those guys that doesn't normally click with me. But what gets me excited about this book and why it's a book that I'm looking forward to is A, I try every Avengers book. I just love the Avengers. B, Steve Rogers is the head of the Avengers in this one. And being a huge Cat fan, just loving Steve as a character and his arc over the years has been the stuff that I really, really love about Marvel as a whole. And just seeing him at the forefront once again, the Avengers, at least a side Avengers team, is always good. And see, it spins out of the Blood Hunt Avengers book that Jed MacKay was doing, where Steve took over the Avengers and had to get this kind of side team to fight alongside the main Avengers team who were preoccupied with the events of Blood Hunt. So what they were doing was happening in the Blood Hunt event. So to keep the Avengers book going, Steve formed this new team and brought in some new faces, brought in some old faces, and went on this kind of covert mission to help out the main Avengers team. So this kind of spins out with that being that Steve is back at the head of this small team, and they're back at the Avengers mansion. So a lot of classic Avengers vibes going on here. And you can see with the cover, we've got some classic heroes as well. We've got Hawkeye, we've got Wonder Man, we've got Hercules, characters I really love and have just wanted more of in the Marvel Universe recently. Hercules in particular. But then also to see some cool little just other characters thrown in there. Photon being somebody who's become popular because of the MCU, Shang-Chi, who you don't see on the Avengers very often, She-Hulk, who's been on the Avengers, but when she was, the last time she was at least, was during the Jason Aaron's Avengers run, where she was kind of a savage She-Hulk, which basically meant she was regular Hulk. There's just a lot of cool things going into this book and getting a lot of classic Avengers stuff in here. Most importantly, just the mansion. Going back to the mansion, getting Jarvis as a human once again. All these cool things that I'm really looking forward to. Corey Smith's art's always really great, so I'm just all around. This book looks like a ton of fun, and for Marvel fans, for Avengers fans, I think it's going to be just a really good 5-issue series that'll give us a little taste of some old school Avengers action. After that, we've got Star Wars #50. This is written by Charles Soule with art by Madibek Musabekov, letters by Clayton Cowles, and colors by Rachel Rosenberg. So I chose this one because it's the last issue of this Avengers run, this giant run in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi that Charles Soule has been doing, and I've just really, really enjoyed it. I think that this is some of the best Star Wars has been in comics in a long time, and Charles has been at the forefront of that. So to see his vision, his run end is bittersweet, but it's exciting at the same time. Like, we get the lead up to Return of the Jedi, where all the characters are, kind of bring them back into place, and then we get to see a glimpse of what could be. And we know that they're taking the book they're taking the Star Wars comic line into post Return of the Jedi stuff with the Battle of Jakku. And that's just an era I've always been hoping they would jump into, and knowing that they are is really exciting. But just to see this run come to an end, I think it's going to be something we look back on very fondly. Some really fun event books, some really cool story arcs. Charles Soule has just been phenomenal, and everybody else has been involved with Star Wars during this time period has done their part as well. So it's hard to recommend to jump in at issue 50, but I think it is a good celebration of everything that has happened through this timeline. And I think it's either next week or the following week, but the end of Darth Vader is also coming. And that could be the last ongoing Darth Vader book we get ever, maybe. it would be tough. I mean, they could bring it back for other things, but that's really the end of his story in comics, because his story really ends in Return of the Jedi. He'll loom over some other things, but just I wanted to bring this up because the Star Wars that's going on right now is ending, and we're starting something fresh. And I really just want to look back on this run and these comics fondly, because I've really thought it's some really great Star Wars stuff. And after that, we've got Gatchaman number 3. This is written by Cullen Bunn with art by Chris Batista, colors by Carlos Lopez, and letters by Buddy Biodun. Gatchaman's just been really fun. It's got that Saturday morning cartoon flair. It's got some old school superhero action with some manga anime feel to it. I've just really, really loved the Gatchaman book. And I know it's only 3 issues in, but just every issue feels so much fun, like so much fun. It's great to have a book that's a known IP, but feels so new and fresh, like it's an original IP, and gives you that feel of, hey, this thing, I'm jumping in, it's cool, it's got a history that I may not know, but I'm really enjoying what they're doing, and they've done a great job of introducing everything to it. And now there's these old cartoons I can go back to and kind of get the history of. Mad Cave Studios has been a phenomenal publisher for a while now, but these past year or two, they've been hitting it on all cylinders. Really proud of those guys and what they've been able to build over the past 10 years. And this book is very much a culmination of that in many ways. And I'm excited to see where it goes. But for now, Gatchaman is just one of those books that I look forward to every month. After that, we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 2. This is written by Jason Aaron with art by Rafael Albuquerque and colors by Marcelo Maiolo. I read that first issue and I thought it was one of the best single issues I've read in a long time. We've got the first 4 issues. It seems that Jason Aaron has planned to do a solo story about each turtle and where they are currently in the continuity. And this one is going to be Michelangelo, which tends to be everybody's favorite. It takes place in Tokyo. Awesome. There's a lot of cool things that could happen in this book, but what's exciting for me is that it's new and fresh, and I don't really know what's going to happen. So just to be excited about Turtles book once again brings me so much joy. And to have a amazing writer like Jason Aaron on it, and just the art team that he's been able to build throughout the run, moving into issue 5 and 6 and so on, has been really cool. So I think this could go down as a really great run. I hope he sticks onto it for a long time and does some cool stuff with the Turtles. It's really nice to see Jason doing something different outside of Marvel, even if it is bittersweet to see one of my favorite Marvel writers writing for somebody else. But all in all, just Turtles have been great. I look forward to it now. And I can't say that I've looked forward to a Turtles book in a long time. And I know I've heard the previous run was amazing, but I fell off it really quick. And by really quick, I mean like 20 or 30 issues in. And to have that be reinvigorated again about the Turtles is it's just good. Like, Turtles should be a constant, and to have them back for me is awesome. And just what IDW has been doing to kind of celebrate this 25th year of IDW, and to, I believe it's the 40th anniversary of the Turtles, just a lot of cool things going on with them. And I'm really happy to see that this IP lives strong and continues to just cater great creators. So definitely check this book out, and I hope to have a review out this week. We'll see. I reviewed the first issue, and I can tell you the first issue was amazing. And after that, we will end with Time Waits number 1. This is written by David Brothers and Chip Zdarsky, with art by Marcus To and Marvin Sianipar, with colors by Matt Wilson, letters by Ariana Meyer, and edited by Allison O'Toole. So the short version is Chip Zdarsky is involved with this book, I'm buying it. Chip is one of a few writers in this industry that when I see his name on the book, I am going to buy that book. I think he's just been a phenomenal writer through everything he's done, including Batman. His public domain book is phenomenal. Just everything he's doing is hitting on all cylinders, and he's just an unstoppable force in this industry. So to see him get a new book with Distillery is great. I love seeing him get chances to do new and unique things. And once again, like, he sees it as maybe an issue for his career. I see it as a benefit for his career. This is different than anything he's ever done. It's a science fiction time travel story. Tell me the last time he did a science fiction time travel story. I don't think there is one. I love seeing him do different things. I love seeing him stretch, and just to know that it's not that I love Chip because he tells this type of story. I love Chip because he tells great stories. And that is more than I can say for most of my favorite creators. And I think it's more than we say for most creators, period. Good on Chip, good on Distillery for picking this book up. It'll be the first Distillery book I buy from the shelf, and I'm just really looking forward to it. The interior art I've seen so far looks amazing. I like that. The one thing I do love about Distillery is that they're doing the all prestige format books, which I really like. I love when Black Label does it. So to have them do it, really cool. A little annoying to buy a different kind of long box for it, but you know what? I'll deal with it because the format is so great. And that is everything for this week. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember, want to support this video and this channel, like, subscribe, share, comment down below. If you want to follow me further, it's at Fortress Chris on social media, including X. What's the other ones? Instagram, so on and so forth. Threads. That's the one I was thinking of. And you can also support me by going to chriscomicscorner.substack.com or listening to the Fortress Comic News podcast that I do every week, where we talk to a different comic creator, we talk about the news, we bullshit a little bit. It's a ton of fun. So definitely check that show out. So once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all here next week.